What's up, my dudes? Valk here, and today I'm going to be talking about units that have fallen off. Now, what does fallen off means? It means that due to either just a lack of any new artifact sets, units, or supporting units, weapons, team variations, whatever the issue be, basically they've just kind of fallen off in terms of damage output. They're just not up to the rest of the pack anymore. And this is really only for DPS, because supports can't really be power creep. They're always going to be doing a specific function that only they can do, and they're going to be really useful in whatever team they can. But as far as DPS go, there are a handful of units, in my opinion, that have kind of fallen off, that have lost a lot of their value, that aren't nearly as good as they used to be. And I want to talk about that today and see maybe there'll be some buffs in the future for them. But the very first one I want to talk about actually is Klee. Now, Klee has actually fallen off DPS so hard, she's moved more into a supporting role, because once you get C2 Klee, she actually turns into defense shred, and a lot of people use her for that. In that regard, she can also be a decent pyro applicator to run with Xiao for, that way you can actually trigger Swirl with Kazuha. But outside of those options, she's really, in terms of her damage, even with step canceling, she's fallen off pretty hard. Like, you don't really see anybody run her anymore or talk about it. I know she's still, keep in mind that whenever I say falling off, I don't mean, oh, they're dog unusable. No, they're still good. Genshin's not exactly the most complicated game. They're just not really comparable to recent DPS. It's just how it is, and she's just one of the ones that have fallen off. She hasn't fallen off the hardest, but she's definitely fallen off. And then the next one I want to talk about is Xiao. Xiao has also fallen off. Xiao's damage has fallen off pretty hard because, well, his damage is still there. His damage is fine. It's not his damage that's fallen off. It's more so the current Abyss just doesn't favor him. Kind of like whenever Raiden came out and that Abyss didn't favor her. But he has no dedicated set. His weapon is a weapon that's from day one, so it's been pretty power crept to the point where you can actually compare Staff of Homa to it. And then, not to mention, he has no supporting team himself. There's no supports that really function with Xiao outside of like Albedo, Zhongli, and Jean. Those are really the main three you run with Xiao. Outside of those three characters, there's not really any supports that really function super well with Xiao, so maybe we can see some of that in the future, but as of right now, there's nothing there. So due to just like no updated weapon, no dedicated artifact set, no supports, he's like single-handedly the most shafted DPS in the game, because Mihoyo has given him nothing and said, "Fly, my little boy, be free." So really, Xiao could see a lot of love in the future, and he could very easily come right back to relevancy with just some insane levels of DPS if he just gets the smallest amount of supports. And then after Xiao is the unit I think that has fallen off the hardest, who has everything, has a team, has an artifact set, has the weapons. It's Diluc. We all know Diluc is very, very power correct. We all know Diluc is not anywhere near what he used to be. Diluc, the guy you used to reroll accounts for, Diluc has fallen off pretty damn hard. And I think that's more so an attribute to how strong things are and the fact that Diluc is more consistent DPS. If you were to, because the game's based around quick swapping and stuff like that, and you're not juggling 1 unit's cooldowns, you're juggling 4 units cooldowns. Because that's the way the game functions, Diluc, who's a super consistent DPS, he's just constantly hitting the exact same amounts over and over again, withering things down, he has kind of lost a lot of value in terms of that, because he's just not as good as other characters that, like, say, Raiden Shogun, who can deal insane amounts of damage within a 1 burst of damage, or like Ganyu, who can hit 2 charge shots and just deal really cool or really crazy burst damage alongside her ult, or even Xiao, who has 7 seconds of just crazy burst damage. The only really good consistent DPS is Eula, because Eula's insane multipliers and Fizz. So I think Diluc's main issue, the main issue Diluc feels somewhat weak in comparison to other units, is the fact that he is a consistent DPS output. Now keep in mind, whenever I say falling off, whenever I say any of this stuff, Basically, all it means is that the character is just not to the level of power they used to be in comparison to the rest of the units. It doesn't mean they're weak. I still use Diluc just fine. Diluc is fine if you want to use Diluc, but he's just not as strong as he used to be. In fact, me putting Xiao on this list should show you guys that I'm not being biased when I'm saying this. This is just my play experience and what I've seen. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys agree with what I'm saying in this, that if these units... Well, I don't know how Diluc would get any more love. Maybe a more specialized weapon. But do you guys agree with what I'm saying in this? Do you guys think these units could use some love? Is there any unit that you would like to see get some love? Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.